Hi, thanks for joining me today. Now, there's nothing that is so upsetting and annoying that you wake up in the middle of the night with a banging headache or a tummy upset and there's nothing at home to take. So today I'm going to share 6 must have at home so that when any of this comes up, you have something, you have a backup. So the first thing is painkillers. Paracetamol or ibuprofen, these painkillers, or even cocodamol, you can buy a lower strength cocodamol over the counter in a pharmacy. See, sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night with a headache or migraine headache or tummy upset or you need to relieve that pain and there's no painkiller at home. So painkillers are something you have to have at home because you never know when you're going to need it. Or even your family member, maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and your child or your family member is complaining of headache and you go to the medicines cupboard and there's nothing there. And also keep an eye on the expiry date so that you know when to get a new medication. The second must have at home is what we call antihistamines. What are antihistamines? They are good for allergies, skin allergy or any form of allergy or even food allergy. They are something you can have at home so that when something like that comes up, you have something to at least fall back on before the day break or before you call an emergency. So things like Piriton tablet or chlorphenamine tablet, things like cetirizine or loratadine, these are antihistamines that you have to have at home. I mean, you need them as for one reason or the other, or maybe you have itchy skins or something that have allergy at home of any sort. These antihistamines are very important. The third one is indigestion medications. Maybe you've had too much to eat and your tummy or you have this heartburn that you're not sure what it is. Sometimes you need heartburn medication at home, like antacids or omeprazole. People don't realize that you can actually buy omeprazole over the counter. So when you have heartburn or indigestion, or maybe you've had a bit too much to eat, you've got these at home that you can fall back on to at least relieve the symptoms while you wait. Because some of these minor symptoms, you don't really need an emergency. So if you have heartburn and you know why, the question is, do you have something at home? Do you have an antacid? Do you have Gaviscon? Do you have omeprazole? These are the things you can buy without a prescription. So at least this will relieve the symptoms while you wait for later to see whether it will resolve or whether you need to see a doctor, a pharmacist. The fourth one is cough medicine. Cough is something people suffer. It could be due to hay fever. It could be to change in temperature. Sometimes people you move from a hot temperature to a cold temperature. Or maybe you're asthmatic and the change in weather brings up your cough. You're used to this cough. You know that it's not something to worry about, but you need to relieve it. So cough medicines are important. People don't so realize that Piriton syrup can help suppress cough. So if you have cough in the children so far that are above 1 year of old, Piriton syrup or chlorphenamine syrup, these are good not just for allergies, but they're also good for cough. So cough medicines are something, whether it's chesty cough or dry cough. Some of the cough medicine, it doesn't actually matter whether it's chesty or dry cough. So look out for the best cough medicine to keep at home that you can use, whether it is chesty cough or dry cough. The other thing I want to mention that you should have at home is anti-sickness medication. Now, sickness could be due to you have had something that your tummy didn't agree with, or you are suffering from migraine, or you cannot it's difficult to determine what is causing the sickness. Anti-sickness medications are things you can buy over the counter, or even travel sickness. I know travel sickness medications, it says travel sickness, but when you're suffering from sickness, these can help. A word of caution here: if you're pregnant, be careful what you take. And also, if you're on various medications, also check the level, make sure it is okay for you to take those medications. But sometimes sickness could be a food bug, or something have upset your tummy, or it could be due to one thing or the other. All you want to do at that point is to relieve that sickness. So anti-sickness medication is something you can buy over the counter and keep at home for when such a time comes. Now, before I mention the final one, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you subscribed? If you haven't subscribed, please hit that button and subscribe, so that as any of my video drops, you'll be the first to know. And check out every Saturday, there's always a new video on different issues. So the final thing must have at home is anti-diarrhea medications. Now, diarrhea, it's one of those things. It doesn't matter whether you're young or old. Diarrhea is very common. Sometimes it could be in babies. Maybe they are going through the feeding process, or maybe they have ate too much sweets, or it could be in adult. Maybe you have had something, you had a kind of food poison, and you're being sick and having diarrhea. Diarrhea medication is something to keep at home in your medicine cupboard, so that when diarrhea strikes, you've got something to calm it down. People don't understand that ordinary diarrhea can be very dangerous. Imagine being sick or going to the toilet non-stop. That can be deadly in the elderly, also in the children. And also, the point I want to make about anti-diarrhea medication is not just the medication. Rehydration salts, what we call ORS or Dialyte, there's so many brands out there, are very important. I know at home people mix a bit of salt and sugar, which is good. In an emergency, you can do that and dilute with water. But the problem with that is that you don't know how much salt or how much sugar to add. So it's good to have oral rehydration therapies at home, be it Dialyte, be ORS of any sort, because replacing what you have lost, either by being sick or having diarrhea, is one of the most important things. So anti-diarrhea medication and ORS are one other things you should have at home. So I hope you have picked up these things I've mentioned that you must have at home. They are very important, they are basic, you can buy them, and you don't need prescription to get them. Thank you for watching, and like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you some other time. Bye for now.